Welcome to the Positive Side Podcast, coming live from the world headquarters in Asheville, North Carolina. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Jeremy Todd. The Positive Side, man, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good things to be positive about. I'm positive about life. I'm not sure if you are, but that's what I'm looking at. There are so many things to be grateful for and appreciative for, and we get to look at the positive side of all the negative things in our life, and that's what this podcast is about. Looking at the positive side of health, business, family, life, the positive side of the Facebook page. Check it out, the positive side. Give me a 5-star rating. Hook it up. Share this podcast with people you love and that you want to see succeed, because that's really what this podcast is about. It's about getting people out of their comfort zone, getting them to the next level in life, getting them out of that stuck zone that they're in. If you're feeling stuck, continue to listen to this podcast, because we're going to get you out of that. And that leads to today's topic. I've had several people. Now I'm part of the Everyday is Saturday Facebook page. Check it out. I'm a private client of Sam Crowley. Check out his podcast. It's awesome. I mean, I listened to it today. It was it's always good. I mean, every single one of them is awesome. I haven't missed one in years and years and years. So definitely check them out. But one of the things that's come across a lot is paralysis by analysis, or analysis by paralysis. And really what that means is that whatever your goal or your dream is, you try and figure out a plan for it. You write it all out. Whatever the case is, you do a step-by-step process. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And then after I get done doing this, I'm going to go over this area, then I'm going to master this, then I'm going to go into YouTube, I'm going to go into Facebook, I'm going to get my website, I'm going to do all this stuff. But there's so much stuff to do that you don't do any of it. You get the analysis or the paralysis by analysis, or however that saying goes, but you basically freeze yourself to go into that next level. And that's what happens a lot of times, especially for me, when you're doing podcasts. Man, what should I talk about today? Boy, should I talk about this? Should I talk about that? With me, I've been blessed, and I'm just fortunate. I can get on here and just ramble on, and things come to my head, and I'm an overall energetic, positive person. So for me, that's relatively easy. One thing I struggle with are all the behind the scenes thing. And I'm analyzing the crap out of some other stuff I got to do, and I just haven't done any of it. But today's the day we're going to stop and we're going to move on. So in your life, relate this to something that you're going through, whether it be your career, your family, job, all that good stuff. But are you paralyzing yourself by planning it and thinking on it too much? And I'm going to guess the answer to that is probably yes, because what happens is in our lives, as we go through this journey, we come up with these great ideas and we start writing stuff down, and we have great plans and great schemes. We even talk to our friends of, hey, I'm looking at doing this. I got an idea about this project. This is what I'm going to start doing. And then nothing ever gets done, or it gets done to a point where you paralyze yourself and you can't you think that your creative energy is over. You can't get over the next time. What do I do? I'm here to tell you, all you have to do is do something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the smallest, tiniest little thing, but you have to do something. So again, I'll use myself as an example. I've got this program I've worked on about getting unstuck and going to the next level. It's I've named it the Freedom Ladder, and I'm still working on that analogy to come up with a better name for it. But what I've been wanting to do is put it in a video form, get a whiteboard, write it all out, and have a 5-part series where I can actually market something like that. But again, I've thought about it, I've looked at it, I've overread it, and I've read it, and I thought about this. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do an ebook? I thought about a million different things. But you know what's happening? I haven't done any of it. I've paralyzed myself with the program, and I'm here to tell you, I'm just as human as the next person. I do the same thing. But I have to take steps. And one step, an easy step I can do, is go out and get the doggone whiteboard. Let's just start with that. That's a little step that'll get me going, because I'll see the whiteboard sticking around, hanging up, and then I'll stare at it. But that'll be something that'll get me going to the next level. What is it that you're going through? What is it that you can do to jumpstart your goals and dreams and aspirations? I've got a buddy of mine that's told me about his goal that he's wanted to do forever. For years and years and years and years. Told his wife, told his friends, family, told me about it. But I haven't heard anything in 6 months, and I don't know if it's another one of those situations by its analysis or paralysis by analysis. You're freezing up, but you got to get over this. You have to get to the next level, and that's what this podcast is going to be about today. Is listen to this podcast, take action, take a small action. It doesn't matter what it is. Do something. Do something to achieve, to move or kick the can down the street. Continue to move down the street and get better and continue to work on it and do something different. Because if you don't, it's never going to happen. And you may be already thinking to yourself, "Oh, damn, I've been wanting to do that for years and I haven't done it." But then what happens is that we listen to this podcast. Hey, honey, I listened to this podcast today, and I'm going to start working on this cabinet I've been wanting to build for years and years and years. All the wood's back there. I'm going to start working on it. What do? You go into the garage, get everything set up, get the tools set up, bing, bang, boom. I'm going to move this, I'm going to screw this in here. Oh, doggone it, I don't have the right size screw. All right, well, let me go to Lowe's or whatever, Home Depot, and grab me a box of screws. You come home. Hey, honey, can you help me in the kitchen? Or, hey, Dad, can you come out? Yeah, cool, no problem. I'll put these screws there, and then, I'll get to it tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into the next day. Next day's the next day. All of a sudden, that cabinet now, the only difference between what it was now and then 2 weeks ago is you got a box of screws next to the pile of wood that you still haven't started. What we have to do is train ourselves to do one small thing every single day. You have to. It doesn't matter what, even if you go out to that garage and you screw one screw in that board, or you move one thing around, you do one little thing, and eventually what happens is you start seeing this creation coming slowly but surely. Now all of a sudden you've got the walls built, you got the top and the bottom built, you got the shelves going in 1 week at a time. But eventually what happens is you get to the point where all of a sudden you've got this bookshelf that you built from scratch, and you know what? Sure, it took you a year, because I understand we've got things going on in our life. But if we don't actually continue to do something to move that, to kick the can down the street, we're never going to get anything accomplished. So that's my challenge to you. Whatever you're working on today, whatever you're doing, email it to me. Let's talk about it, because I need to talk to someone about what my problem is. And let's grow together. Again, that's what this podcast is about. Getting better and growing and going to the next level and getting unstuck in our lives. We have to do that. We have to get to that point. By listening to these podcasts, by me talking to these podcasts, it helps me and hopefully it helps you. Get online, go to jeremytodd.com, shoot me that email, or sign up on that Monday motivational video. I'm sending out a letter tomorrow morning. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we talked about today. So it's holding you accountable. You're going to listen to this podcast. You're going to then get the email tomorrow where you're going to go and you're actually going to take a step and you're going to kick the can down the street. Today's the day we take action. Check out the website, jeremytodd.com. Shoot me the email, jeremy@jeremytodd.com. Another thing, Analysis by Paralysis, is my introduction music. I'm going to go ahead and chunk it's like $40 to get the new introduction music and the outro music. I'm going to get that done, because I need something that's a little bit, if you, again, listen to Sam Crowley's, it's exciting, it tells you a little bit about what's going on, but that's what I'm going to work on. So I'm going to get that done here. I'll commit to you I will have it paid by Friday, and hopefully, I'm not sure how long that takes, if it takes, a week, 2 weeks to get it on there, but I'll have it confirmed, done, paid for by Friday, so we can kick this can down the street and continue to get this podcast better and continue to get people unstuck. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. This is the positive side. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.